Alright, is Salt Papi the #1 influencer boxer in the world, or is this guy just all hype? Can Salt Papi be with the likes of Jake Paul and KSI, or is this guy just overhyped fighting not the best competition? I think this weekend we're going to get the correct answer. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. This weekend, Misfits 007 happening, as well as the UFC ABC card, which I'm going to be doing a prediction for, I believe, tomorrow. But this is a massive fight on the card. Just a reminder that we're going to be live at 1 p.m. Eastern, right here. We're gonna be watching Misfits and also the UFC card on ABC, so tune in for that. I'm gonna be live right here. But today we're here to talk about Salt Papi as well as Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. This is a very good matchup and I'm excited to see it happen. So let's just break this down. Alright, Salt Papi versus Anthony Taylor. Anthony Taylor was an MMA fighter. Really doesn't do too much MMA anymore. He does train with the likes of AJ McKee, who is or was the Bellator featherweight champion. Undefeated up until last year, but still a very high level fighter. But he's in the Bellator scene right now. Anthony Taylor's transition into this crossover world is really interesting. It started with him fighting Tommy Fury as Jake Paul's sparring partner, and then it grew from him signing to Misfits, fighting other influencers, and honestly his boxing career has been on and off. Let's be honest, sometimes he steamrolls his opponents, other times he gets outclassed, and in my opinion Anthony Taylor is the perfect crossover gatekeeper. If you can get past this guy, you belong with the upper echelon of KSI, the Slims, and all those guys. But if you don't, you kind of fall at the bottom of it. Anthony Taylor is that perfect middle ground, and that's how we're gonna find out, is Salt Papi ready to face those guys? And a lot of you guys have been asking me to talk about Salt Papi, which is why this is its own video. You guys have requested it, so don't be mad if a lot of you guys are like, I only subscribe for UFC content. This has been a request for a while, and I've been saving it for this Misfits fight week. And one of the things I like about Salt Papi that's really unique to him is his counters. He actually prefers to be on the back foot and counter, which is very unheard of, especially when you're first starting boxing. But I genuinely think what makes Salt Papi so good is I genuinely think he does have a passion for the sport. He picked it up by himself, apparently, like just watching YouTube videos. If you are consistently watching YouTube videos and trying to seek information on your own to do something, you truly have to be passionate about it. And I think Salt Papi is one of those guys that does like to compete in boxing, and I think that's why he might have a level up on a lot of the other guys that are starting. He genuinely likes to do this. He's not doing this for money, which I'm sure money is nice with it, but he also is doing this because he does love the sport, which is why I think you see guys like Jake Paul really succeed, because he's also really in love with the sport as well. I think he knocked out that guy Andy Warski, I think his name is, knocked him out in like 20 seconds. Insane counter. Like, that was a high level counter, looked clean as hell. And then you go to the Josh Bruckner fight, where yes, in my opinion, Salt Papi had a slow start, and I think this is something that might play into effect when talking about this Anthony Taylor fight, which I'm going to get into later. But he did have a little bit of slow start, which does worry me for Salt Papi in terms of going to the scorecards. But he did land that counter shot, really baited Josh Bruckner into going into his distance, and just landed a clean left hand, knocked him down, and he was not able to get up. Salt Papi has power, but not just power, he has precision. As Conor McGregor once said, who is a very similar style to Salt Papi, as funny as it may sound, precision beats power and timing beats speed. That is Salt Papi in a nutshell. The guy waits for his shot, looks for the perfect opportunity to hit his opponent, and then they're just floored. They don't know what to do. And the reason I say he's like Conor McGregor is they're both southpaws and they both are counter strikers. Conor McGregor's best performances is when his opponents were coming after him, like Eddie Alvarez. But when you look at Anthony Taylor, his boxing style is very much go forward, high volume in the beginning, and a lot of the time he stays high volume. But what I don't like about Anthony Taylor is sometimes when he faces adversity, he kind of tends, I don't want to say to give up, but kind of accept the momentum of the fight. Like, he's willing to accept, okay, now he's winning, this is it, let me just try to survive. You can't get into that mindset if you're Anthony Taylor. Like, the key to beat Salt Papi if you're Anthony Taylor is to try to ramp up the volume, because as I said, Salt Papi did struggle with activity in his last fight. I could definitely see a scenario where Anthony Taylor's throwing a lot of volume at Salt Papi and Salt Papi's having trouble countering. You know, Salt Papi is still pretty new to this scene, so it's not going to be a surprise to me if he has trouble countering a guy like Anthony Taylor. And then the fight becomes one of those things where if Anthony Taylor goes to a decision and ramps up the volume and Salt Papi can't get the shot, I could very much well see Anthony Taylor getting a decision win. But to me, Anthony Taylor's going to have to stay disciplined in this fight. He has to go forward, even if he gets rocked, even if he gets hit with a shot, even if he's having trouble getting into range, he has to go in and he has to go forward, use his head movement. He's definitely going to try to land that overhand right, which, like I said, if you're Salt Papi, study this guy, because there's a lot to study about Anthony Taylor. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys will know I heavily believe in studying film. I think it definitely gives you like 10 levels up on your opponent if you just study them. I mean, you look at the guys like John Jones, George St. Pierre, they all have game plans going into fights, studying film. Anthony Taylor did say recently that he doesn't do that, so you can't expect that from Anthony Taylor, but I think his game plan should be ramp up the volume and get those early rounds, because this is a 3-round fight, which a lot of people are saying, oh, Salt Papi's kind of a bitch for making it a 3-round fight. But in my opinion, this actually hurts Salt Papi more, because like I said, he does does struggle with inactivity, I could definitely see Anthony Taylor winning the first round and maybe even the second round. And then at that point, Salt Papi needs a finish. I think this is very dangerous. Also, it helps Anthony Taylor because he usually kind of gasses in these fights. I forgot what influencer was against, but Anthony Taylor won the fight but was struggling at the end because he was tired, and that was a 3-round fight. But when you look at Salt Papi, he is very measured. He isn't having so much activity. I think he could probably survive for a round. So I'm confused why this is a 3-round fight, because I think it would actually help Salt Papi if this was a 4-round fight. But it's 3 rounds nonetheless, and to me that makes this fight 10 times more closer. This is honestly a 50-50 fight in my opinion. Time to give a prediction. How do I see this fight going? I think in the first round, I've already said, look, I think Anthony Taylor's going to throw a lot of volume. I could see it being a close fight with the jabs of Salt Papi. He is a taller fighter going into this one, so maybe he's going to try to use his reach a little bit more than we've seen in other fights, but I still think that Anthony Taylor will manage to win this first round, and then the second round I think is going to be close. I think Anthony Taylor's still going to be putting on that gas. We're going to see tons of taunting from Salt Papi. There's definitely going to be a lot of playing with the lead hand because this is a southpaw and orthodox matchup. Salt Papi's going to want to have his left foot on the outside of Anthony Taylor. They'll throw that straight left hand, which I think will help him. He did the same thing against Josh Bruckner, but I think this fight is up for grabs. I think it's 50-50. This is going to be an extremely important round to get, but I think in the third round we're going to see Anthony Taylor gas, and I think we're going to see Salt Papi actually finish Anthony Taylor. I think Anthony Taylor's going to be tired. However, Anthony Taylor is good at surviving fights. Like, he is good at avoiding getting knocked out. He's experienced enough. I think he could just put his hands up, lose that third round, and I think it might come down to the second round, but I think there is a possibility that Salt Papi does catch Anthony Taylor in the third round when he's tired. But if it goes to a decision, man, I don't know. I think it's going to come down to that second round. If it goes to a decision, I'm kind of leaning towards Anthony Taylor, if I'm being honest, but I do think that there's a possibility that Salt Papi catches him in the third. Oh my god, I honestly don't know who I'm going to pick. This is so close. I'm going to go with Salt Papi. I think Salt Papi might be able to edge it a little bit. I think that second round is going to be super competitive. I honestly think this is a 50-50 fight. However, I will say if Salt Papi finishes Anthony Taylor in the first round like he has in his other opponents, except for Josh Bruckner, but if he finishes him in the first round, holy shit, get Salt Papi a massive fight. Get this guy in the Philippines in a stadium fighting Floyd Mayweather or something like that. Like, this guy deserves a massive opportunity if he knocks out Anthony Taylor, because this is a dangerous fight. There's a reason you don't see the likes of, you know, Slim or FaZe Temper or any of these other influencers take this Anthony Taylor fight. It's because he is experienced. He isn't the best, of course not. He's most likely not going to be able to hang out with those guys like KSI or Logan Paul or Jake Paul, but I like Anthony Taylor. Anthony Taylor has taken full advantage of the spotlight, and I respect him for it. He's a good guy to me, and I wish both guys luck. I'm excited for this fight. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you guys think is going to win this fight. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best fan base in MMA and all combat sports. Make sure to share this video. We're trying to get the fan base bigger, trying to grow the channel. We're supposed to hit 20K by the end of this year. We got to hurry this up. We're at 11K. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.